Howdy folks, Dave Mann here, Rollman Revolution. I am a member of the Cesspool called MAGA. That's right. If you are able to digest the mainstream media, and look, there's many people in the alternative media that have been calling this out for a while, especially War Room. They've always been ahead of the curve, always. And again, you can start to see the critical path being laid out for you. Now, again, if you've been watching or you digest this kind of political arena on a regular basis, you may have seen it months prior, but several months back, I've saying that the political house of cards is starting to fall apart. I mean, you can see how a network breaks in. And then once you start to have this, what do they call that, doubt amongst this criminal circle, everybody starts to turn on one another because now you don't know who to trust. And that's why the truth always matters. Why telling the truth and why being truthful and then why getting to the truth is so important. Now, look, I know how ridiculous your life is and the lives of most of the people that you care about. I understand. I'm right there with you. But this fighting that we are doing amongst ourselves is absolutely useless. It's something that is all set up by design, and I'm trying to get more and more people to recognize that fact, that there's a game being played, but the game is not Democrat versus Republican, pro-life versus, pro-choice, women's rights versus, misogynist, whatever the case may be, whatever the movement, whatever the anti-movement, whatever the cause, they're all been put into play. And the people that are actually, originally whose noble idea was to start these movements, they get hijacked by somebody else over time, and then they take on a organic, different property, if that makes any sense. And they kind of move in the directions that the people who control them now want them to move. And you can see these chess pieces happening on a regular basis. And I don't mean to be moving around all the time, but that's why I do walk-in talks, because I like to move when I'm thinking. But the thing here is that when you see this at play, and you can kind of see this going on a regular basis in that political arena I was talking about, you can see this converging, point. Now, a lot of the things may seem arbitrary to something else. So let's say, for argument's sake, there may be, the Maui fires, or the dollar falling, or Russia and Ukraine. Now, these all things may seem completely separate from one another, but when you start to see exactly how this Gestapo-controlled government is actually functioning, you can see that they're all heading towards a specific point. And that's the critical path at play. It's recognizing the signal, recognizing the noise, and then understanding that whole statics, dynamics, critical path. Okay? By doing that, you can actually see the game being played out in front of you, but you will always be months ahead of the curve. And that's the whole goal that I wish for any person out there. So you don't have to love politics. You don't have to live it. You don't have to bleed it. You just have to pay attention to kind of what's going on here, because people who claim to represent you are lying through their teeth. Okay? I've always said that if you ever want to know whether or not your representative knows, is for you in the community, that they find out if they know who you are. Call them up. Say that you want to call back, or any way you can get in touch with this senator or representative. And then try to get a conversation in there. Try to see if that person remembers you. I can guarantee you that most representatives do not have a connection with their voter base in the district that they're controlling. I'm not saying this is all, and I'm not saying that you need to know every voter and all that stuff. I'm talking about your general voter. Most of them don't either know or don't care, because they're installed puppets. And that leads into my second point of this video, because it's so crucial, because you can see all of this stuff happening in real time, and if you've been paying attention long enough, you can see the players and the actors that are directly involved, and you can see kind of oh, I didn't realize, oh, she's involved too, and he's involved, and oh, that sounds like it comes right out of CIA 101. Okay, so what I'm getting to here is that we have this big problem with intelligence in this country, this disinformation, misinformation, you know, what's censored, what's not censored, who's in control, who's pushing the envelope, who's making these people push the envelope, blah, blah, blah. All of this seems to stem back to the same entities every single time. It seems like you have a deep state which has weaponized this entire CIA, FBI, Department of Justice to work actively to pursue a specific goal. Whatever that goal is, let's say it's globalism, let's say it's destruction of the United States, whatever their goal is, they have different channels set up by different security measures within all of these agencies that are all interconnected. But think about it, the CIA has interconnections into everything. They've been the cream of the crop for many, many years now, okay? And since the Patriot Act, I can tell you right now that every device, everything that is in your house is Bluetooth or whatever. Again, if it has a microphone, if it requires direction, if you can talk to it, it can be hacked. Okay? Bottom line is that we're living in a time where information is key, and information is what moves people. And if you can control what people think, and you know what people are thinking because you can get into their devices, you can see how their algorithms are working and what they're really talking about. It's that idea of manufactured consent. If I know what moves you, if I know what to say, how to say it, and put it in a particular way that's going to make you or the community that you live in move, well then guess what? I'm at a much higher advantage than you could possibly imagine. And these entities have had access to this for a very long time. They've been pinning most of us against each other for a very long time. See, I know because I talk to people on a regular basis, okay? When I do my little polling where on the beach where I do my walk and talks mostly, I walk up to people and I will ask them several questions. But the question doesn't end there, or the conversation doesn't end there. People are really pissed, okay? And they're pissed for a specific reason. Because you can only get punched in the nuts so many damn times before you start to realize that something is not right about the situation that you're in, right? So we're sitting here, and I'm talking to these people, and they're just laying out all of the same things. And this comes from Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Libertarians, you name it. It doesn't matter. Now, this is not everybody. There are some people that are just ignorant about subjects or just don't give a shit, and they think it's all corrupt. And to a degree, I think I agree with them partially. I do. But we have got to find, look, you know that the game sucks. You don't like the way that the game is. You don't relate to one party or the other. I completely say that the party system is dead in America, that there needs to either be a new generalized system or you got to start fresh. Something is just not working in this system. Neither party serves either one of its constituents or its base, okay? They're full of shit. They raise all of this money, okay, to get into office to do what? Find ways to fuck you over. And this is all being done under the puppeteering of this administrative state, which is controlling of the intelligence services, controlling of the government, controlling of the media. The media, let's go even a little bit further in there. Like I said, at the top of this, we are all a bunch of cesspool people. We are creating this problem in America. You're the fucking problem, America. You sitting right there, sucking wind every single day, are the problem to the mainstream media. They believe that you're an ignorant son of a bitch and don't know how this game is played, and you're getting drawn in by all this crap that Donald Trump is saying. And I would say to a degree there are some people out there that really don't know what they're, but that's not the consensus amongst MAGA. And if you don't believe me, that's why you're shaking in your boots right now. That's why you're calling us names. That's why you're trying to tell us that we don't know and something needs to happen. But no. America has had enough. Okay? They've had enough. And now you are trying to play games, these reverse games, to try to see whatever you can pull in to this future nonsense by trying to make us look like the bad guy in your narrative. It's not going to work anymore. America is waking up. Okay? The thought leaders have put it out. This is the way things used to be. CIA. We would put the ideas in the public square, and the good ideas would rise to the top, and the bad ideas would just find their way down the wayside. That's the way it worked. But what has happened is you manipulated the system, controlled the education system, controlled the monetary system, controlled all the systems, regulated everything, medicine, everything. Just think about everything in this country. There's a regulatory agency for it, okay? And somebody's making a profit by lobbying those agencies to pass their drugs or their goods or their this or their that, while you down on the bottom there again probably suffer the consequences from them making these back alley deals, okay? There's no reason in the world we should have had to go through all that crap with the if the right information was passed out initially. So we're dealing in times now where your own Department of Defense and all of your intelligence services are working inside this apparatus known as the administrative state, with government kind of actors at the helm, being puppeteered to say or present things in a certain way so that you, the American people, vote or think in a certain way, while the media supports that a little bit further by constantly repeating the same nonsense bullshit every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nonstop, to try to drill it in your head that MAGA is a cesspool bunch of people who are not intelligent, who do not know what the hell they're talking about, and the media, who has been caught multiple times, especially that Nicolle Wallace chick, whatever the heck it is, during 9/11, she constantly lied to you. She lied to you, covering for good old Bushy Bush, okay? Telling you that the weapons of mass destruction and everything else going along with that whole damn situation. So she has no right to sit here and lecture you about being a cesspool that's causing a problem to America. No. She is part of the problem because she is part of this administrative state. She has got somebody up her ass to, whamming her head back and forth, telling her what to say and how to say it and how to present it, and crocodile tears and all the other bullshit that they do. It's all an act. And you get a front row seat to it. You buy a 50, 60-inch idiot box, put it in your front thing, and then they have you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week news that's jammed down your throat. And all of it is filled with narrative bullshit, trying to sell and manufacture your consent. So here's the answer. Sorry I had to give you my spiel. Sorry I had to go on so damn long. But the reality we're living in is they are fucking afraid of you. They are afraid of you. And because America is starting to wake up and getting directly involved at the local level, that means you too, you have something to bring to the table. You have something to offer. It could be something as simple as videography or editing or doing something, graphic art is something you have in your repertoire, building something. Maybe even, you have a loud voice, or maybe, a pastor's voice that actually can get a message across. Something you always have that this movement needs. And again, the reason is, when I say this is a movement, because MAGA is not Republican, it's not Democrat, okay? Make America Great Again, that is an idea, okay? And that idea can stem in so many different directions, but we know what it's not. We know it's not keeping an open border. We know it's not selling all our money and giving all our money to the Ukraine while American people are starving here and suffering and going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. No, okay? We know what is good, we know what is right, and we know what is horse shit, all right? So the fact that they are continually telling you that you're the bad guy, no. You get involved where you live, you have something to offer, you have something to give, get involved in the precinct, because when you get involved, these son of a bitches have to run, because there's no base to support them. There's nothing there to support these people, because they fear you. And that is the reality we're living in. And guys like David Ignatius, the brilliant people, the people that the media have to go to try to get their script for the week. And here's the thing, the CIA and all of these they have professional writers on hand. NASA has professional writers on hand. These agencies, front agencies, whatever you want to call them, okay? I can go on NASA in a totally different video, but these front agencies collect millions of dollars in taxpayers' money a day to offer you bullshit. And now you have agencies in our federal government that are working actively against you to try to shut you down, take you out, and do anything that's necessary to remove you from the equation. That is Marxism, that is communism, that is whatever you want to, look, that is a dictatorship, a Gestapo. We all recognize bullshit when we see it. It's not a Republican or Democrat thing. This is so silly anymore. You know what's going on here. You know horse shit. We all can relate to that. That's what we need to build on, America. We got to stop fighting amongst each other, okay? Because they're counting on it. Those assholes called you a cesspool. You are nothing to them. And that is the division that is created in this country. And this has all been done by this administrative state, this CIA, FBI, DOJ fucking apparatus that has all been controlled by money and power for a very long time. And the only way you are ever going to get your freedom, you're ever going to get the future that you've always dreamed of, is by shutting this shit down. They fear you. Take time to recognize this is the moment when heroes are made, when the time is right. You know, you're gonna be able to tell your grandkids about this someday and say, you know what, when nobody fucking did anything, I showed up. I showed up because I thought it fucking mattered, and I thought that this movement could do wonders for the future of my family and the rest of the country that I love. We got to get back to feeling good about this place. The reason the world looks like shit, and this is an energy thing. Look, I'm not going to go on that too, but this is an energy thing. When you are in, you become the stories you listen to. You become, you mold to the environment that you're in. If you constantly have an environment that is raining down bullshit and lies and manipulation to the people, it creates a very bad society and environment. You know that. It's called toxicity. We see it in everything that we have in this world. And the whole goal is to get rid of this shit. You want to live your life, I want to live my life. But we can do this so much easier and better so we're not killing ourselves, working 2 jobs to sustain a fucking household. It's ridiculous. Where they're running away with everything. The wealth gap is getting larger and larger and larger. Like in 1950, let's say, for argument's sake, it was 1,000 to 1. And that's a little ridiculous. The CEO making $1,000 when the guy at the bottom is making only $1. But again, you can still see that's in a reasonable, mark. Now it's 150, 200 times that. It's a million to 1. How high and how much wealth does the top guy have to get compared to the guy on the bottom who's sucking it? I mean, there's got to be a point where we start to realize there is no way to cover this. The guy at the bottom is being squeezed all the way out. Well, these people we have no benefits in any of it. You can see what's happening, and like I was saying at the beginning of this video, the critical path that everything is taking itself towards. I know I ramble on a lot, I know. It's hot. Again, I don't normally do this in this circumstance, but you can see where we're heading, right? You can see where we're heading, America. And this is the first time in my lifetime and in history that I know that you can actually do something about it. And by people doing something about it right now, it's the same reason why the media is now coming out here and calling you fucking names and telling you that you're suck and everybody, and they're towing the line all the way down. You can see it. It's repeated on every network, over and over, every hour, on NPR and all of the, government-controlled and ridiculous radio. It's overwhelming, and it's overwhelming on purpose, designed to get you to either shut the radio off, say, I don't want to deal with that nonsense, that's horse shit anyway, right? To build this idea in your mind that government is garbage and the laws in this country are ridiculous and the Constitution is No. The Constitution is the greatest document ever. The Declaration of Independence is probably the most beautifully written. Okay, this country was founded on, Christian principles. People say Judeo-Christian principles, whatever. Point being is that it's founded on a morality, okay, that is good. Now, whether or not you believe in this or that or whatever, that's your choice. Nobody's here to argue any of that, but what I'm saying is the foundation of what we know to be good, okay, to be wholesome, okay, is based in decent morality, okay, an energy that actually everybody can relate to and understand. Okay, when you start to take that and just shred it into 1,000 different pieces, you lose the vibration, the energy of the culture that you live within. And that is what's been happening over the course of these last 50-something years, with the illusion of choice that we've been given and the critical path that they've been leading us towards. Somebody wants to take control over the most powerful country in the world, and they're doing it from within by using a puppet like Joe Biden and then manipulated CIA assets like Obama and a few other people that have been working for the agency like the Bush family. These people are all tied into the same bullshit. When you realize, look, these guys were all, Poppy Bush worked for the CIA, claimed he didn't know where JFK was, where he was when JFK died. His story changed a million times. Look, this is silly. Everybody remembers where they were when JFK got shot. I wasn't born, but the point being is everybody you talk to said, yeah, I was doing this and this. Everybody remembers where they were when 9/11 hit. Everybody does. Everybody does. So to say that George Herbert Walker Bush couldn't remember where he was is just an insult. But we accept this shit. We accept their bullshit. Just like what the media is doing right now. They're making it sound like, oh, there's no evidence of anything that Joe's done to Hunter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, everything but the laptop, right? Oh, but there's no evidence. Yeah, the CIA had that for, since 2019. Oh, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal in facts. Because when you talk facts on a show like CNN, and they just melt because they have no way to deal with it. Because they're not trained in facts. They're trained in selling you bullshit narratives. Those shows are like an actor stage. You got to have somebody who's willing to come on. And they pay these people to come on and give commentation, but it has to be their commentation or the right commentation to sell a certain message. It's getting ridiculous. But you are the antidote to all of this chaos. You are what they fear. You. I'm telling you right now, this is the time when heroes are made. You must become the hero of your own life story. Grab a hold of whatever it is you hold dear and run towards the fire. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be a million other people running towards it with you. We cannot play this game where we're sticking our head in the sand and praying that somebody else is going to take care of all this. There is nobody going to take care of this. This is our fight. And this is, I'm talking in a metaphorical sense, but look, if it gets to the point where I'm being forced to do something, they're going to take you're damn right I'm willing to fight for this. You're damn right. And I know there are a million other Americans willing to do the same damn thing. This matters. It never has mattered before in my lifetime until Donald Trump got in there and started changing the game. Whether you like him or not. And again, I said I didn't vote for him in 2016. I voted for him in 2020, and look what happened. They stole it because they knew how many other people were going to end up voting for that man. They knew. And they know now that he has got control of what's going on, and that scares them. And you should be wondering why it scares the entire government apparatus, the administrative state, the media, why they continue to keep bashing him. It's not because he's committed any crimes. It's because they're afraid that when he gets back in control, he is going to destroy every one of the agencies that has been using lawfare and illegal means to put him, his family, his campaign in this stranglehold. It's getting to a point now where we're like, this is lunacy. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. The antidote is you, my friends. You are the antidote to all of this. The CIA, along with this government apparatus, FBI, DOJ, DHS, all of these, you can tell what bullshit looks like. It's just in everything they do. So that when you see somebody who has true authenticity, who's really speaking from the heart, it resonates with you. You can't not let it resonate. That's why when people really start to open their ears and listen to what's going on within this cesspool called MAGA, they don't think it's a cesspool anymore. They think it's something worthwhile, something that you want to be a part of, because this is the last patriotic stand. If we let these people try to take what they want to take, there isn't going to be a future anymore. There ain't going to be no United States of America. It'll just be a slave labor camp. And you'll be working your ass off. More jobs than you could possibly imagine, getting paid nothing to do them. And you're going to have to like it, because there ain't going to be nobody able to fight for you. Anyway, I'm not here to try to cause gloom and doom. No, I'm here to try to tell you that we're winning. The media is freaking the hell out. And it's because of you, they fear you. Thank you guys for listening to me. Please check me out on some of the other videos, RollmanRevolution.com. You know what to do, my friends. Get involved where you live. Fight the good fight. This is worth fighting. This fight is worth fighting. And it is going to be a story you tell your grandkids about. Nobody else wanted to do anything. I said, get your frickin' pants on, grab your damn shoes, we're going. That's the attitude you got to have. I will see you all on the battlefield. Fight on, my friends. We are only getting started because we are America. Take care, my friends. See you soon.